Okay, so here we are again with another episode of PBR with Nate. This one really doesn't have anything to do with politics or any of those kind of things, or even the current crisis we're going through, whatever. Um, this really has to do with, um, well, I guess kind of in a way it does have something to do with the current crisis. This has to do with, for lack of a better term, it has to do with death. Death in a family, um, death of a close friend, um, that sort of thing. Something that's very raw and very hard to discuss, um, but I want to discuss it. Um, I have a very, very, very extremely close friend that is terminal right now, and it's tough. It's very, very tough, and it has nothing to do with this COVID-19 coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. It's somebody I thought it was, even though he was quite a bit older than me, I thought he would, thought he'd probably outlive me. Um, but no, I sit here and I get to watch him deteriorate before my very eyes. So, I guess what I wanted to speak about is how do we handle something like this? Um, I, for one, look, this is not evangelizing, not pushing anything on anybody. I, for one, I'm a Christian. 100%. I don't act like it a lot of time, but hey, no Christian does. The reason we give it over is because we can't do it on our own. So, anywho, um, that's the way I'm dealing with it. Is the fact that I believe I serve a mighty God and He is sovereign and He understands and He is in absolute control. Um, so I believe that, although it still makes it extremely, extremely hard. But I look back on the times that I've had with this man. Um, he's been a fantastic influence on me. Um, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have my wife and two children right now. Um, so that being said, I want to sort of put this out there and put things in perspective. Is that number one? I want to say this, and it may sound cold, but you have to understand this thing we call life has a 100% mortality rate. Um, none of us get out of it alive. Um, life, life is a virus that will absolutely kill you, and so we need to come to grips with that fact. Um, secondly, I want to say this, and this is probably the most important part, is that each and every day that you have somebody, um, a loved one, a best friend, a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, a wife, a child, anything else, don't hesitate to let them know that you love them. Make sure that they know. I can tell you this. probably before all of this started happening, I could probably count on one hand in the years that I've known him. Probably count on one hand how many times I told him I love him. Now I never fail when I hang up, before I hang up the phone, to tell him that I love him. Um, and honestly, that's kind of sad. I should have probably done that before. Um, Hold on, I'll try to get some sort of light on. Well, I can't get a light on here. No battery in this truck. But anyway, do not hesitate. Please do not hesitate. I don't care. I don't care if it's not gay. It's not anything else like that. Tell them you love them. Hug their neck, whatever. And especially during this time, I mean, you don't know. This coronavirus stuff, I mean, if somebody's got some sort of underlying health condition or whatever, and they just happen to contract it, and then next thing you know, they're on a ventilator or whatever else. I'm not sensationalizing that, by the way. I just want to say that I encourage all of you to follow that example, to make sure that each and every person in your circle knows that you love them. And I mean genuinely, that you love them. And that they need to know that. Because we are not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed the next second. I'm not guaranteed to survive through this podcast or whatever the hell you want to call it. God brought me in this world. He can take me out. I'm His creation. You know, He's the potter, I'm the pottery. So, that's just what I want to say. And it obviously has been brought to my attention very heavily due to this. So please, 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 those who are closest to you, tell them you love them. Tell them you love them and mean it. And don't take for granted that they're going to be there tomorrow. Anyway, I love all of you. And this is for Lefty and for anybody else that is going through that right now. So cheers to you. This has been PBR with Nate.